It's basically that Offaly and Dublin this weekend is a relegation playoff as it stands, unless something changed. Now, there has been talk that there may be a special congress to change. There's little rumblings about that, nothing confirmed yet, but essentially that people seem to have woken up in the last couple of weeks that somebody's going to be relegated out of Leinster, which is surprising considering the decision was made in October and November of last year.
So hang on, what would a special congress do? Reverse the decision?
That remains to be seen, but they may let this year's Joe McDonagh winners into, which looks like it'd be Antrim, say, or maybe Westmeath, let them into Leinster next year, and have no relegation.
So there'll be an extra team.
Yeah, and there's a precedent for this as well.
Okay.
So
that's not the worst idea of all time, is it?
It's not the worst idea of all time. Although, but why do we need this retrospective sort of, like, we were fully aware of this? Yeah. So like people are just turning around now and saying, like, if Offaly get relegated and they lose this weekend, it's a disaster. And
can I make one case for people waking up to it now, is that everybody assumed that Offaly would be as bad as they have been in previous years. I remember we did a game, Offaly against Cork scored 11 something against them. Like the scoreboard actually ran out of enough space to put up the 11 goals. And then Offaly put together a reasonable league campaign and put together good championship performances for the first 2 games out. Okay, so the last one was a bit of a disaster. And so now they're thinking, how do we get Offaly hurling back to a level where there is another team in Leinster who are credible contenders, or at least capable of winning their home games maybe? It's not going to happen if they get relegated. Is that why people have suddenly started to think?
I think, I think there's always, within hurling in particular, there's always been a desire to protect the sort of established few, or the established 10 or 12, whatever it might be. So in this scenario, you're looking at Offaly playing, possibly, if they lose this weekend, playing Joe McDonagh next year. And I don't think there'll be the same level of outcry if, let's say, Carlow were up and they dropped out of the Liam McCarthy next year. It's simply based on tradition. But if that's the level the team are at, for the record, I don't think there should be relegation. But if we knew this when the thing came in, if that's the level the bottom team in Leinster are at, you have to also give the Joe McDonagh team something to play for. So you can't just protect the 5 Leinster teams indefinitely. So
the way this would be is effectively the fudge would be to protect the current status quo, bring a team up who everybody assumes will be the team that comes down, and then just yo-yo.
So next year you have, let's say, Antrim come up and down, and they go back down next year. There won't be outcry next year if Antrim go back down.
And then Carlow, and then Antrim again. And
because Antrim didn't win the All-Ireland 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So look, it's just Congress decision making. Like, we've seen a lot of strange things at Congress, but to make a decision, a special Congress was called to make these changes to Championship, and now all of a sudden, 3 games into it, we're saying, yeah, listen lads, this isn't a great idea.
Yeah, but maybe